So, good evening to all of you. I have read all your questions, and to be very honest, this is exactly the kind of thing that I wanted to cover today. The main problem is not about learning physics. To be honest, you might be knowing that how the light evolved. It was a particle, then it was a wave. It behaves like a particle in photoelectric effect. It behaves like a waves in Young's double slit experiment. You might be very good in the stories. You might be very good in the derivations. You might be very good in the theoretical concepts of physics. But at the end of the day, problem is all that matters. You how good you are in solving the problems of physics is actually going to decide how good you are going to do in competitive exams. I'm not saying that how good you are going to do in career. Like maybe in research you don't need too much problem solving. Maybe, but in competitive exams, problems is the most important. Okay? And as long as you cannot divide your topic into problems, nothing is going to be very good. Okay? So what are the steps we have to follow to be consistent and to approach the question one by one we will cover? Okay? So number one thing that you need to do is to pick a topic. Okay, so the very first step is to you need to pick. Okay. Now, many people make two or three mistakes here. You pick a very big topic, or you pick a topic which is not important for exam, or you pick a topic which contains a lot of memorization, lot of derivations. All of these are the problems which a topic can have. And hence, once you pick a topic, the number one idea is that if you are picking a topic, this topic should not contain more than 2 days to complete. 2 days to complete. If it needs more than 4, 5, 6 days, 1 week, then I don't think you're picking a topic, then you're picking a huge portion of a syllabus. For example, some people say quantum mechanics in one dimension. I covered it in one PDF. But quantum mechanics in one dimension can take many days to complete. So the idea was to break it down. Okay. So when you're picking up a topic, so how you pick a topic? In fact, you don't need to pick a topic. I'm picking the topics for you. That is why I'm daily sending one topic, and it is very consistently. Last 10 days, we have every day I have sent one topic. So in order to pick a topic, I am helping you here. So this is a number one thing. I'm sending 30 topics in 60 days. In 60 days. Okay. So I have already uploaded 8 topics, including today, 8 topics I have sent. Now, these 30 topics is 110%. So let me write it there. 110% enough to qualify CSIR net examination. And it is the basis of all the MSc exams. So it is enough for CSIR. CSIR के लिए enough है, and it is a foundation, or you can say a very huge foundation for GATE, JEST, and TIF. Obviously, these 30 topics are not enough for JAM. For JAM also, I'm starting the similar series. In next week, I will be sending for JAM also. But as of now, these 30 topics are not JAM oriented. Many of them are JAM oriented, but not all of them are related to JAM. So JAM needs little bit more foundation, means more basic level structure syllabus. But these 30 topics in 60 days, basically, these topics are enough for CSI net. And this video is getting recorded when this year's paper happen. You and me both will sit together. I will, in every question, I will show you that this was the source of the question, and you will see more than 130-40 marks of the paper, 150 marks of the paper will be from these 30 topics. Okay, not the entire paper, no, that is definite, because I'm not setting CSI net, but at least 130 to 150 marks of the paper will directly be from these topics, more or less. And even if you do 80% correctly, you will be qualifying the exam, and also other topics which will come may be easy topics. So you may not know them that as well. So first of all, before you do anything else, You need to do these 30 topics, not because I am telling it, because these 30 topics are coming from the analysis of CSIR net. In last 5 year 6 year, only thing that I have developed is by looking at the papers of last 5 year, last 10 year, I can tell, okay, these are the topics which you need to cover. And if anyone is been following these 30 topics, you reply to me, have you ever seen the question getting repeated? Was there every PDF at least question gets repeated twice? You tell me yes or no. Have you, if you have done that, have you seen that, okay, if the question number 2 is there, then question number 4 is also similar, both of them came in different years, but the question was exactly similar. If you know question 2, then you can solve question 4. It means CSIR net is basically repeating the same thing. Obviously, they will not repeat the values. So let's say they are giving you some parameter and asking ki if what is conserved in this Lagrangian. So once you know the process, ki, okay, this is how I check that what quantity is conserved in Lagrangian, then any kind of potential they give, you can check the same. That is an idea. That is a basic idea. That is how you prepare. Ki, what are the things they're asking? Basically, Lagrangian and Hamiltonian. Now, how do we study about Lagrangian and Hamiltonian? Is that we open up the book. Now, let's say I'm picking one topic. So let's pick the most difficult topic in which everyone face the problem. Quantum mechanics in one dimension. Okay? Quantum mechanics in one dimension is the big topic, and it's a problematic topic. It's a tough topic. Okay? Now, there could be different kind of people. For example, someone who has never done quantum mechanics in one dimension, or even if you have done quantum mechanics in one dimension, you have done it in a wrong way. Basically, in colleges you have done it. How the colleges teach quantum mechanics in 1D? So they will start, there is a Stern-Gerlach experiment, then the electron splits in two, and then they also try to mention you, okay, this is infinite well, this is a derivation of infinite well, this is Schrodinger wave equation, this is known as state vectors, and so on. Then huge derivations are there. For example, if I have to teach harmonic oscillator in a college, harmonic oscillator, my one day will go into teaching you the algebra method, teaching you how to derive the wave function of a harmonic oscillator. But we have to ask ourselves if it is required. If I read the book, let's say you go and you start reading DJ Griffiths. Now, if I say someone that harmonic oscillator can be completed in 2 hours, they do not accept my idea. They say, okay, no, harmonic oscillator at least need 1 day, 2 day. I agree, but you are doing derivations. And let's say you are doing derivation, and then you have loaded your mind with so much of information. So much of information. Let's say you do algebra method in harmonic oscillator. So first you will start how to define operators, then how to basically use it, how to convert Schrodinger equation into operators, then how to solve it. Algebra, entire algebra will be there for 3 pages. If you open DJ Griffiths, 3 pages, Griffiths sir has done that. And then ultimately the idea is that they derive energy value, and then they derive the wave functions, and then ultimately then they do the expectation value of x, expectation value of p, expectation value of x square, expectation value of p square. This is what they usually do. So, but all you needed was this. Not only the formulas, but also the conceptual clarity of that. Okay, if energy is this, if the energy of half of basically harmonic oscillator is this, then what is implies? It implies that if n is 0, then there will be 0 point energy. This implies that energy is basically equally distributed, or maybe equally spaced energy levels are there, or non-equally spaced energy levels are there, right? So these are the kind of ideas that you need to develop. Then wave functions. What is even wave functions? What are odd wave? So all you need is the formulas and the analysis of these formulas. All the efforts that you put in to come up to these formulas are most of the time is useless. Most of the time is useless. And very sure you open, if even if I'm teaching full-fledged, if I have students, if I have opened a coaching in Delhi, and I'm asking students to come daily to for 3 hour class, even I will do these derivations. If I am in a college, even I will do this derivation because I am going to ask them in an exam. But CSR net is not interested in it. In fact, by doing the derivations too much, what you are doing is that you are loading up so much information about the harmonic oscillator that you actually forget about what was actually needed to be remembered. You don't need to remember any part of the, I don't remember the derivation of harmonic oscillator even slightly, but I can solve any question of harmonic oscillator because I know about them. I know about this. Okay. Now, in this context, you need to study right. Once your topic is selected, right, you need to study correctly. Okay. So now here I'm going to give you two second point. First was topic was chosen. Now you have to study correctly. Correct study is very important. Now I'm going to give you two methods. One which I followed and one which I asked you to, which basically I endorse, which I advertise, जिससे basically मेरे घर चलता है, basically जिससे मेरी कमाई होती है. But I will give you both the ways. I am a person who has never done a coaching, so I have never taken any coaching. Okay, so never. First of all, I have never done any coaching, so I do not say that coaching is the only way to qualify the exams. No, that is not. Either you have to develop that habit. One way is that you develop that. For example, I can read any foreign author physics book because I have done this for years in my BSc. In my BSc, what I used to do is I have three notebooks for every subject. I was always ahead of class. Basically, if my teacher is teaching this much, I was learning this much. Because I was never a kind of person who will only read from the teacher's notes. I will always read the book. So by doing that, my habit was to eliminate what is unnecessary in the book and to focus on what is there required for competitive exams. So ultimately, after many years of efforts, what I have done for myself initially for my exams was to understand that what are the one page notes required for this topic. Harmonic oscillator, one page in 2 pages, what are all the things that I need to know? For quantum mechanics in one dimension, what are all the things that I need to know? So basically, quantum mechanics in 1D has what? So you have infinite well, you have Dirac delta potential, you have harmonic oscillator, and you have finite well, right? And in order to do this, you need some basic tools. Basic tools. For example, what are those tools? You need to know how to find probability. You need to know how to find expectation value. You need to know how to find an average value. You need to know basically how to uh, involve the time parameter into the equation. That's all. 3, 4 tools are there and 3, 4 topics are there. And if someone asks me, okay, revise entire quantum mechanics in one dimension, I can do it in 2 hours. Okay. So if you have such kind of background with you, I do not say that you go and listen on to any lectures. I will not suggest you. If you have a good background, if you have spent some time on a topic, it's not important that you do it for you do the coaching for every topic and you don't do the coaching for any topic. These kind of two extremes should be avoided. Okay. I will not do coaching for any topic. I will not I will basically do everything on my own, or I will do everything from the coaching. That is also wrong. If you are good in some topic, then use your wisdom, use your brain rather than someone else's experience. Okay. But if you're not good in some topic, then take help. That is also very important. Okay. So based on that, but when I designed the course, my course was basically to only focus on this area. This area. If you open up my harmonic oscillator lecture, it is basically only one lecture. And in that one lecture, it is 40-minute lecture. And in 40-minute quantum harmonic oscillator is done. 40-minute lecture, harmonic oscillator is done. You will be able to solve most of the question. I will not say every question. ऐसा भी नहीं होता है. No, even I cannot solve every question. No teacher can solve any question. But what is the idea? When you have a question, in the last session also we talked about, there is an easy question or conventional question. Basically, easy or conventional question are those which are directly from the theory, or they are basically PYQ type. Someone who has done this theory and not has studied according to PYQ will even not be able to do easy question. यही होता है. This is the most normal. Why people don't qualify? Because they are not even able to identify the easy questions. They are not even able to solve the easy or conventional question. Because this question is easy because it has been asked in PYQ and you should be knowing the concept of it. It is not easy because once you read the theory, you can solve it. This question is not easy because you have read the theory and now the question is easy. It can easily be done. No. So by just reading the theory, you can only do 5 or 10% questions. Because some questions are even directly from theory also. Like कि formula में values डाला and or solved example के जैसा question होता है, then you do and done. But most of the questions are easy because they are PYQ based questions. ठीक है. Second kind of questions are application. Application. Second type of questions are more important. These are the problems which you can do at maximum you can do is application type of question. Application type of question means it is similar to PYQ, but it is similar, but you need to apply some theory also. So like PYQ and theory, you use some physics logical brain and you can solve this question. It's not like it is very hard. No new formula is used, no new concept is used, no new mechanism or algorithm is used. The same algorithm you need to twist little bit. Like some algorithm you need to take from here, some from here. 2 3 algorithms are combined together and you need to solve. For example, Hamiltonian equations also you need to apply, and at the same time you also need to apply the you, basically you can say is the conjugate momentum thing. ठीक है, तो ये दोनों चीजें आपको लगा के, और Hamiltonian equations are done in one question, conjugate momentum thing is done in another question. You have to combine them and then you have to solve the question. So this can also be done, but this does not comes from coaching. Application kind of questions do not come from coaching. From coaching, maximum can come, or from reading the book, or from watching the lectures. What maximum can come is easy or conventional questions. Basically, this teaches you that okay, this is a base here that you should know. Until unless you don't know this base, then you will again and again be stuck, because then you're reading most of the time unnecessary things. This base has to be done. That is why the PYQs I'm giving you. Even if you are a kind of person who don't want to take a coaching, at least by seeing the PYQs, you can analyze and make a base for yourself. Okay, these are the things I need to do rather than doing the derivations in the book. And the second type is application. Now, application kind of questions, you don't need any new theory for this. All you need to know is practice. That is why I also gave one assignment on gate questions. Okay, now you try to practice some more questions. Because once you do more and more practice, your application question also get better. Okay? And you will be very surprised to know that in a paper, about 30% of the questions are easy or conventional. Okay? Even more than that, I would say 30 to 40% of the questions, out of 10, 4 questions will be easy or conventional. Okay? 30% of the questions will be application. And the third type is hard questions. These are also 30%. In CSIR net, 30% questions are hard. Now, these hard questions basically means not in CSIR net, but also in GATE, also in JAM. Okay? In JEST, all exams. 30% will be hard, or sometimes if the paper is easy, 20% will be hard, 30% will be application, and 40% will be easy. One thing that I always know is that they never change this thing. No exam will change the conventional or easy type of questions. 40% है तो वो है, 40 का 45 करेंगे, उससे reduce नहीं करते. But yes, they change the application part. So let's make more questions application and less questions hard to check if student can apply. This they can change. This application part makes the exam easy or tough. If there are more application questions, then it is, you can say, moderate paper. If there are less application and more hard questions, then you say paper is hard. Easy conventional topic remains almost same. You can give me any paper, I can pick out the questions for you that these are the direct PYQ based questions, one way or another. Okay? And more PYQ questions you do, more and more your knowledge will keep on getting expanded. For example, in this last year paper, or I don't know last year, but in central forces, I was doing central forces topic. I was making it. and the topic for you, and I realized that the one of the questions they have directly taken from UPSC physics optional, because I'm also preparing for that, so I know that ki UPSC physics optional mein se they have taken the direct question, and it was one of the difficult questions of central force, because in our area, in CSR net gate, this kind of question was never asked before. And it was a very interesting question. The question was something like this: this is a sun, and this is a earth, right? Now this line divides it into two parts, basically, right? So it is an elliptical path, and this line divides in two parts. So does the same time is taken to come from here to here, and then basically to complete this first half and to complete this second half? Obviously no. You know that speed is more when you are close to sun, so less time will be here and more time will be on the other side. So then they were asking, okay, what is the time difference? Tell us what is the time difference. This question is directly from the UPSC physics option. So that is what I'm trying to tell you, that more and more PYQ you will approach. First, you have to do the PYQ of your exam first. Until that is not done, you cannot approach. Okay? So always remember, if the question comes from here, let's say CSIR asked the repeated question and you're not able to solve PYQ, you're not able to do that question in an exam, then it is none other problem, that is only your problem. If you complete easy and conventional part of these 30 topics, and you build at least some brain to do some application questions, because ye ho hi jata, this is a natural process. Once you do some easy and conventional PYQs, some application questions you will definitely be able to do, because everyone is good in something. Some people are good in mechanics, some are good in electromagnetism, some are good in electronics. Everyone is good in at least 2-3 subjects. So usme the application questions they are able to do, but in some other subjects we are not able to do application questions. That is the difference. For example, I can do any application question on electromagnetism, but when it comes to electronics, I am not able to do many application questions. So I think for me, application question of electronics are hard, or basically in my mind, electronics is a hard subject and electromagnetism is an easy subject. So when I have that in my mind, same thing you have in your mind, what you do is you leave the entire electronics and you focus too much on electromagnetism that you even try to do hard questions. So you are trying to do hard questions of electromagnetism because you think that that topic is easy for you, and you try to leave out the electronics ka easy and conventional question. As long as you don't do easy or conventional of all the subjects, if some subject is hard for you, difficult for you, you can leave its application questions, you can leave its hard questions, but you cannot leave the easy or conventional topics of any subject. It will basically lead to failure. देर इज नॉट अ सिंगल सब्जेक्ट जिसका मुझे इजी और कन्वेंशनल नहीं पता, एटलीस्ट मेरे नोट्स में नहीं है, मैंने नहीं उसको पढ़ा है. आई हैव डन इट फॉर माई सेल्फ when I gave the exam, and even I have taught the same in my courses. So that is the main idea. Every subject का easy and conventional must be completed. ठीक है. I personally think that hard should only be done if you love the subject. Let's say for example you love some electromagnetism, let's say, so you love the subject and you are really feeling curious about it. Okay, how can I solve this question? You are feeling curious, but if by looking at the question you are feeling boredom. For example, I hate solid state personally. uh, I do not like solid state physics too much, but even though I don't like solid state physics, out of 3 questions I can do 2 in CSR net part C. Why? Because they repeat the concept. They either ask you about boson or they ask you about Fermi statistics, right? Or they ask you basically about effective mass or something like that. And then one question is from crystallography. These are 4 or 5 areas from there you are asked. And they are asking the same thing again and again. Once you are done crystallography, one question is anyway you will be doing. Easy होता है crystallography. Most of the time the question is easy and it is application based question and हो जाता है वो. Basically you have to apply the same rules in that question. One question they ask very hard, like they make something up, Hall effect, they or usko to I never read that question. Third question is like Fermi statistics. Now this is a application based question or easy question, but student miss this. So that is why I made one page notes for myself कि okay, Fermi statistics का question आएगा तो this is how the density of states का formula लगना है, then average का formula and even I have given that in the PYQ solutions कि if the Fermi statistics question come, what is an algorithm to solve that question. So this is how you have to break it. ठीक है, तो the second thing is learn correctly. ठीक है, and if you I would really recommend you can take all in one course. We have all in one course, and in that just try to see it once. No derivation in any lecture. I have never given any derivation. Always to the point, and very quickly you will be covering easy and conventional. And I can promise you that once you watch one lecture, your easy and conventional part is done. Okay, and then you can directly come to the questions in a very less time. In 1 hour, you can directly come to the harmonic oscillator questions. You will be able enough to solve that questions. And then then you will be easily able to understand the solutions of harmonic oscillator questions. Yes, any hard questions of harmonic oscillator will come. The lecture is not going to be very helpful. Not very helpful. In interview, if they ask you harmonic oscillator में कैसा होता है, you will be able to answer in very much better way. Okay, this is how the graphs are, this is how the energy are, because they are not going to ask you to derive anything. You will be able to give the crisp points. Why the average momentum is zero in infinite well? It is zero. People derive it. We don't need to derive it. We need to know why it is zero. Because if the average momentum is not zero, then particle will ultimately go out of the box. Average momentum means on an average, it is moving in any direction or not. The answer is no. Particle is not moving in any direction. It is going here, then coming back, going here, coming back. It is staying within the well. Within the well. That is why its average momentum has to be zero. Otherwise, it will go out of the well. So these are the kind of questions they ask in an interview. And these are not the things which are written in the book. This comes from actual interviews, because this was one of the questions which was asked to me in an interview. So that is how you have to develop. Okay? And even if you find any YouTube videos like this, you should watch that, right? कि जिसमें the moment anyone starts doing derivations, there are many free lectures also available on Telegram of some coaching. The moment anyone starts doing derivation and it's a 2-hour class lecture, stop that. Otherwise, what will happen is or you make a 1-year plan. It's not wrong. Some people, no, I want to do derivation. ठीक है, do then, but then give yourself 1 year. ठीक है, कि okay, I will complete all the lectures, derivations, and then I will do the analysis myself, and then I will short these lectures, and then I will ultimately make the base for myself. ठीक है, but then it will take you 1 year. उसको फिर आप या तो time दीजिए enough. That is also fine. But if you don't have a time, 30 topics, एक दिन में एक topic करना है, and you are watching 2-hour classes, 2 hour का lecture, then you will not be able to complete it. Ultimately, you will not be able to complete it. So वो एक क्या होगा ना, fallacy होगी. Then that is why क्या होगा कि 4 days your one topic will be there. चार दिन एक topic चलेगा. And 5th day you will be in confusion कि अब क्या करूं. Now I need new plan because 4 दिन तो एक topic को लग रहे हैं. Then the consistency is broken at that time. So that is why any topic needs to be done in 1 or 2 days. Or even if it is not done, let's say you are not taking any, you are learning on your own. Even if it is not done, at least what you have to do is कि उसमें से कुछ तो सीखा ना 2 दिन में. Something कि PYQ was there in which expectation value has to be found. You learn something about expectation value and how you find it. By looking at the solution, I am giving a very detailed solution of the questions. By looking at the solution, you will be able to understand that this is how you actually have to find the expectation value. Okay, Dirac delta potential के अंदर, when I gave the question in the solution Dirac delta potential, I made sure that I include all the formulas which are required in Dirac delta. 2 pages in the solution was just the formulas, and then in the end, in the half page, I solved the question. The question solution was actually only of a half page, but 2 pages were to summarize the Dirac delta potential. Because that is what, even if you don't know and you read these 2 pages, is going to be enough. in a sequence and write one line wherever the physics is required. That's not more than that. Okay, this is a formula and this is the physics of the formula. That only one bound state exists. That is why energy is minus m kappa, basically kappa square and h cut square by 2m. This is the formula. Don't worry about the formula. So that has to be clearly done. Or in 2 days, if you cannot complete in everything, at least take some ideas of that topic and come out of it. Move to next. But if you think by giving one more day, you are making a good progress. Basically, when the day when you make a good progress, you know that you have made a good progress. Otherwise, you know that most of the day you have wasted in overthinking, in front of the reels, and in the back of the mind you have thought thinking about study, but you are not able to study, because then you know that it will take ultimately so much time to reach where I want to reach. Because once you open the PYQ, the question is in front of you and you are not able to solve the question. The idea is that someone, you watch something or you read something which can quickly take you to this question. But the idea is that you then watch lectures or you read some books which takes too much time to reach here. And by the time you reach here, you have even forgotten that I had started 30 topics in 60 days. So this is a very vicious loop. Okay? Now, next thing is that you complete some part if you are not able to done entire. Next thing is, it really needs some sort of discipline. Okay. Uh, Not everything is there outside. Some things are there inside also. Discipline is always required. You say, okay, nahi, something can be given to you and then you learn it and then you go to the exam. Discipline is most important. Discipline basically means ki I am answerable. Discipline breaks when the interaction breaks. Discipline is not an internal, discipline is always external. You are not Buddha, you are not Gautam Buddha, you are not Shri Ram, you are not Mahavir, you are not Guru Nanak, you are none of the gods, you are a human. You cannot discipline yourself. You are not an army personnel, right? It takes 3-4 years of training to make soldiers who are disciplined, who wakes up at 6 a.m. by themselves. You need alarms, you need external. The moment discipline is not there, it means the external contact has been broken. The manifestation of the preparation has been broken. That is, see, most of these days, what we are doing is, on the mobile phone, we are chatting with the people, but we are never chatting real things. Real things are not there. Even with our friends, we are not telling that what we are preparing for, what we are thinking in a love life, what are the confusions we have in life. Maybe some people have one or two people who are there, but most of the time 90% of our interactions lack real things. It They are fake, they are surface, they are acquaintances, you can say. And that is the point where your discipline breaks. Let's say you are joining a job and you are getting a salary, and the moment you don't go to a job, your salary will be deducted. Now 110% discipline will be there. You will go to the job every day, and until unless you're not actually have some reason not to go, you will always go. And let's say you have a job where no one is looking at you and you get a salary or whatever, but even if you don't go, there is no consequences. Then obviously the discipline will be broken, because you are not a god, you are a human. And how do we manifest this interaction? That manifestation is through the interaction among the similar people. These days, people think that if we message in a group, if we message someone, not personally, but at least in a group, it is like exposing yourself to the humor. It is like exposing yourself to the uncertainties or to the fears, because someone else will respond and you might get fear ki, okay, usko aata hai, mujhe nahi aata. Or no one is actually talking about the exact problem which is happening with them. And that actually breaks the interaction. More human interaction you do, basically, if you in a group talk more, just by talking more, your discipline will be more. For example, this is one of the simplest way I'm telling you. For example, if your problem is quantum mechanics in one dimension and your problem is in harmonic oscillator, why not just whatever is coming to your mind, try to phrase the words for it and send it in a group. This is a problem, I'm feeling scared. What was it? When was the last time then you wrote that I am scared? When was the last time you actually did not touch your phone and let you feel what you are feeling and you actually cried? I was used to cry during my prep. Okay, if I'm not able to understand a topic, what we do is we distract our minds with the phone, mobile phone. We open a YouTube video, we are still anxious. Inside we are anxious, but outside we are scrolling. And hence we never reach the peak of anxiety. We do not reach the peak of emotions. Hence we are never disciplined. If you are feeling not feeling good, cry. Cry. You're not feeling good, you're not able to solve the problem, cry. Because once you cry, then the next step will be to find a solution. Avoidance is the new modernization. We are avoiding. The problem, anxiety is coming because of the avoidance. We're not taking steps. That is a problem. Discipline is about taking steps. And that will only happen through external manifestation, not through internal. As long as you are in your bubble, you will never be able to be disciplined. Let me be very honest. Okay? Let me be very honest. You have to have an external people, not friends. Don't, I'm not saying make friends. I'm saying that have people who can laugh at you. Basically, if you say something stupid, they will laugh at you. If you don't study, they will mock you. Or if you are feeling bad, they will console you. Basically, they are in the same journey as you. That is why the groups are made. Groups are not made for teacher to make an announcement. I made a separate CSR net group not because I wanted to announce at two different places. I already have a bigger group. Why would I make a smaller group for CSR? Because you feel that out of these 7,000 people which are there in big group, these are 250 people in small group who are also preparing for the same exam as I am. So I can talk about them, and all 250 have the same problem. And the moment you talk, some solution will come up. Most of the time, whenever have someone has asked the question, I have replied to them, and they have got some solution at least. क्योंकि ठीक है, प्रॉब्लम इतनी बड़ी नहीं है, इसको इस तरह से सॉल्व कर सकते. क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स इन वन डायमेंशन इज नॉट दैट बिग, but if I do this, I might be able to do it. And then you do it, and in 1-2 days, your quantum mechanics, you move on to something else. Okay? So please be interactive. That is why the earlier time I feel was much better in terms of discipline, because there was not, bubbles were not there, human interaction was more. Discipline only comes from that. Okay? So that is the idea. So don't blame yourself for not being disciplined. You can never be. You can never. Okay? That is an idea. We don't even tell our parents. यार इतना तो बोल सकते हो ना मम्मी पापा को कि आई विल फेल इन एन एग्जाम इफ यू डोंट वेक मी अप एट 8 AM. अगर आपके पेरेंट्स सुबह 7-8 बजे उठ जाए, यू आर ट्राइंग टू बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल इन फ्रंट ऑफ योर पेरेंट्स कि नहीं नहीं मैं तो खुद ही उठता हूँ. अगर इफ आई एम वेकिंग अप एट 11 AM ऑल्सो, देन आई एम डूइंग इट बाय माई ओन विल, एंड नाउ आई विल स्टडी एट 12. अरे इट इज अ लाई. You wanted to wake up at 9, your alarm was at 9, you snoozed it and you wake up at 11 or even later. But you never asked your parents to wake you up. So we are not taking help from parents, not from other people who are in the same journey. So discipline will never come. Okay? Teacher, that is why the teacher, that is why we are still employable. Otherwise, solutions to AI भी दे सकता है ना. Chat GPT can give you the solution, right? Chat GPT can give you the solution. So फिर what is a need? Because Chat GPT will not provide the solution in a sequence in which you will learn 100%. That is why the teachers are required. That is why that is why. The last step is approaching the question. Approaching the question. If you're doing a question of a topic, मान लीजिए आपने किसी क्वेश्चन टॉपिक का क्वेश्चन किया, in which you have never, in which you have not even covered easy and conventional things. So then it is fine to be confused. Because then the idea is then you must ask yourself, should I do easy and conventional things? At least watch 1 or 2 lectures before I can jump to questions. That is okay. Because आपने कभी अगर, if you have never studied crystallography before, then even the easiest of crystallography will be very difficult for you. Because then you also need to know what is FCC, what is BCC. ठीक है? But at least if you are done easy and conventional thing and now you are approaching question and question is not happening from you, the idea is not to learn more and more and more, but to stick yourself to the question. Because questions are the syllabus. Questions are not the, you can say, reflection of your theory. I really hate this word theory. Okay. When I teach in my courses, I don't say that I have taught you theory. No, I have taught you algorithms. Algorithms. I have taught you basically something, basically skills. I don't say theory, I would say skills. Harmonic oscillator, these are the skills you need. But even after that, if there is some question, many questions will be there. Don't be hesitant. There will be questions you will not be able to solve. In that thing, that is an opportunity to learn some new algorithm. Okay, acha, acha, okay. In harmonic oscillator, I know these are operators. I know these are wave functions. I know this is the how we find expectation values. But this question is asking for two, three things. And if such question come, this is how I need to move. So that is a new thing that you learn within the topic. And even till today, when I solve a question, I'm learning. In my brain there is one box which is harmonic oscillator. In that box, a new concept gets added, a new idea gets added. Oh, in this kind of questions, this is something we have. Even while making the solution, I was also learning. कि, okay, oh, अच्छा, ऐसा करते हैं क्या? Okay. It does not mean I don't know the topic. It means that within this topic, this kind of question which is there needs algorithm, a new kind of algorithm, which I need to understand. That's all. When you're not able to design a certain web page, it does not mean you don't know Python. It basically means that the algorithm within the Python is new. Coding language आपको पता है, you know how to call functions, you know everything, but within that coding language, something is new. That is how you approach question. People either they don't spend time in easy and conventional topic. Lecture देखा नहीं है अभी तक कोई. They don't know harmonic. That is why I say that take physics all in one course. एकदम minimum I have made the price. उसको एक lecture देख के खत्म करो ना. Harmonic oscillator का one lecture, get it over with. कितनी देर उसको दिमाग में बिठा के रखो. उसको देख के खत्म करो और फिर उसके बाद लेक्चर ही मत ढूंढते रहो. आओ, क्वेश्चन नहीं हुआ तो अब दूसरे किसी का लेक्चर देख रहे हैं. अब फिर नहीं हुआ तो तीसरे किसी का, हो सकता है दूसरे किसी का देखने से वो एक और एक्स्ट्रा एल्गोरिदम मिल जाए. लेकिन वो एक्स्ट्रा एल्गोरिदम तो आप अपनी एग्जिस्टिंग नॉलेज में वैसे भी ऐड कर सकते थे. ठीक है. सो फर्स्ट हैव अ बेस एंड देन कीप बिल्डिंग ऑन दैट बेस. बेस काफी टॉपिक्स में आपका होगा, उसके ऊपर यू बिल्ड ऑन, एंड मोर यू बिल्ड ऑन, बेसिकली यू आर बिल्डिंग दैट एप्लीकेशन. एप्लीकेशन एप्लीकेशन वो जो बिल्डअप होता है ना, दैट इज बिल्डअप इज बेसिकली एप्लीकेशन क्वेश्चंस. यू आर नेवर गोइंग टू रीच हार्ड, नेवर. एट लीस्ट इन एन एक्चुअल एग्जाम यू विल नेवर बी एबल टू सॉल्व हार्ड क्वेश्चन. कभी नहीं होगा ऐसा. मतलब एक आध में भी कुछ हो जाए, एक आध क्वेश्चन आपका तुक्का उक्का लग जाए और एट दैट टाइम समथिंग गेट्स हिट इन योर माइंड तो हो जाए. बट हार्ड में तो आप कभी भी नहीं पहुंचने वाले. और anyone who is trying to reach hard is basically fooling themselves. It's a basically a foolish thing to be reach that level. करना ही नहीं है, क्यों करना है आप मुझे. when CSR net himself is saying कि only solve 20 out of 30 questions, तो why you are wasting your brains uh, with that much. ठीक है. एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन पूछो. sometimes while solving a question which has extremely new concept that time, it hit confidence. Since then that thinking comes that it is theory, that yes, that is, yes, Vanishka has asked the most beautiful lovely question. I mean, perfect. ठीक है. दिस इज व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग यू कि मान लीजिए आपने क्या है कि हार्मोनिक ऑसिलेटर में सम क्वेश्चन के, चलो कुछ अब बाहर निकल कर देखते हैं. जैसे सेंट्रल फोर्स. सेंट्रल फोर्स, नाउ सेंट्रल फोर्स का क्वेश्चन था. लेट मी गिव यू दिस आइडिया. नाउ आई हैव taught सेंट्रल फोर्स एटलीस्ट 5 times. मतलब मैंने पढ़ा पढ़ा तो 10 बार होगा, पढ़ाया 5 बार. 2 times जैम जैसे ऐसे बहुत बार मैंने सेंट्रल फोर्सेस आई हैव टॉट. सो व्हेन आई वाज प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर यूपीएससी फिजिक्स ऑप्शनल, दिस क्वेश्चन फर्स्ट टाइम केम टू मी. इसलिए मुझे ये अभी तक याद है, लेटेस्ट याद है. बिकॉज और मुझे सेंट्रल फोर्स में सब पता है, लेकिन दिस क्वेश्चन आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर कि ठीक है, बिकॉज इफ यू थिंक केपलर सेकंड लॉ क्या कहता है, इक्वल एरिया इन इक्वल टाइम। दिस इज व्हाट केपलर एरिया से केपलर लॉ से इक्वल एरिया इन इक्वल टाइम। सो क्या आप मुझे बता सकते हैं क्या ये एरिया और ये एरिया सेम नहीं है? सन यहाँ पे है, अर्थ यहाँ पे है, तो द फर्स्ट टाइम द थिंग केम इन माई माइंड कि ये एरिया और ये एरिया सेम है, तो व्हाई इट इज टेकिंग डिफरेंट टाइम? तो टाइम डिफरेंट क्यों लग रहा है? एनीवन नो द आंसर? तो देखिए एरिया कौन सा होता है यहाँ पे, देखा आपका थ्योरी जो है ना, योर थ्योरी विल गेट कंसोलिडेटेड। आपकी थ्योरी थोड़ी सी, स्पीड का क्या चक्कर है? इट मींस इफ वी थिंक अबाउट स्पीड, स्पीड में तो तब सोचेंगे ना जब ये इसका आंसर मिलेगा, केपलर सेकंड लॉ इज रॉन्ग। यस, कनक इज राइट, फ्रॉम द सन वी मेजर। यस, दैट इज, यस, प्रीतम इज आल्सो राइट। सो दैट इज द फर्स्ट टाइम आई रियलाइज दैट कि ओके, ऐसा सोच रहा, देखिए जो आप मेजर करते हैं ना वो यहां से करते हैं। सो बेसिकली when your earth come, so this is a radius vector, so when earth comes from here to here, then you see this a vector is rotating, ये वेक्टर रोटेट करेगा, तो रोटेट करके वो यहां पे पहुंच जाएगा। सो बेसिकली आपको देखना है कि इस रेडियस वेक्टर ने कितनी एरिया कवर किया, तो ओनली दिस एरिया हैज बीन कवर्ड बाय द रेडियस वेक्टर, because when this radius vector comes from point A to point B, only this shaded area is covered. It means on this side area is less and on this side area is more. That is why the times are different. तो मैंने 5 बार सेंट्रल फोर्सेस पढ़ा है, तब मेरे से क्वेश्चन नहीं हुआ ये वाला। इट डज नॉट मीन माय थ्योरी इज रॉन्ग, मेरी की थ्योरी में कोई कमी है। थ्योरी में कमी तब होती है, द आइडिया इसकी, अगर मैंने अभी भी आपको समझाया और आपको समझ नहीं आया, इट मीन्स आपको कीपलर का सेकंड लॉ ही नहीं पता। इट मीन्स यू डोंट नो कीपलर सेकंड लॉ, देन यू आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड कि इक्वल एरिया एंड इक्वल टाइम बोल क्या रहे हैं। इफ आई टीच द सेम थिंग टू क्लास 10th स्टूडेंट, उसको नहीं पता चलेगा ना इक्वल एरिया एंड इक्वल टाइम का क्या मतलब होता है। बट इफ यू वर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड द प्रॉब्लम एंड देन यू वर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड द क्वेश्चन क्या था और सोल्यूशन क्या था उसका, इट मीन्स योर थ्योरी इज नॉट इन प्रॉब्लम। द आइडिया इज दैट यू नीडेड टू नो समथिंग न्यू विद इन योर थ्योरी, मतलब विद इन थ्योरी नहीं, थ्योरी का अलग से एप्लीकेशन। अंडरस्टैंड नाउ, आपको सब आपको भी आ गया अब ये। अब मैं आपको बोलूं कि इसको कैसे निकालना है, तो देन ये डिस्टेंस होता है ए इंटू ई और ये डिस्टेंस होता है बी, बस इतना बताना जरूरी है। फिर आप इस ट्रायंगल का एरिया निकाल लेंगे और उस एरिया को माइनस कर देंगे तो आंसर आ जाएगा। यू विल, आई विल गिव यू द सॉल्यूशन, आपको समझ आ जाएगा। डन 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 हो गया। सो दैट इज हाउ यू हैव टू अप्रोच sometimes while the new questions comes from the topics you know। complex analysis में आज भी CSR net every year ask the question which is something is you learn from it। कॉम्प्लेक्स एनालिसिस आपने जितना भी पढ़ा होगा, हर साल एक क्वेश्चन सीएसआर ने ट्राई टू गिव जिसमें आपके कुछ नयापन निकल के आता है। तो वो जब आपके अंदर वो नयापन सीखने, अब नयापन आया और आप डर रहे हैं और आप सीख नहीं रहे हैं, तो वहीं से होगी कंसिस्टेंसी ब्रेक। कंसिस्टेंसी ब्रेक्स व्हेन द सेल्फ डाउट कम्स। अब नया क्वेश्चन आया, यू नो द थ्योरी, अरे एक बार क्वेश्चन क्वेश्चन तक तो रहने दो, क्वेश्चन को क्वेश्चन तक रहने दो। ये क्वेश्चन कैसे करना है उसकी टेंशन पहले लो, सेंट्रल फोर्सेस का पूरा टॉपिक कैसे करना है उसको बाद में सोचेंगे। भी अगर सोचने बैठे तो कितना कुछ सोच सकते हैं, मुझे बताओ, कितना कुछ अब मैं सोच सकता हूँ कि इलिप्स के बारे में पहले पढ़ते हैं, तो अब मैं फिर एलिप्स पढ़ने चला जाऊंगा, फिर सेंट्रल फोर्सेस के अंदर एलिप्स को दोबारा पढ़ते हैं, फिर वो होगा। लेकिन अगर थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे मैं रुक के थोड़ा दिमाग लगा लेता, या थोड़ा मैं सीख लेता, चैट जीपीटी से पूछ लेता, मेरे सोल्यूशन आप अगर मैं देख लेते। मैंने इस क्वेश्चन को काफी देर सोचा, फिर मैंने जो है चैट जीपीटी से पूछा, नहीं समझ आया, चैट जीपीटी वाज गिविंग सम डिफरेंट एक्सप्लेनेशन, वो इंटीग्रेशन सॉल्व करने लग गया। इवन चैट जीपीटी वाज नॉट एबल, देन आई फाइंड इट समवेयर ऑन चेक, तो मुझे मिला एक बहुत ही ऐसा ये सोल्यूशन मिला मुझे, बहुत अच्छा सोल्यूशन। आई आई वाज सो हैप्पी, ओके हो गया। आपको ये भी पता करना है कि आपको क्या डिस्कार्ड करना है। मान लीजिए इस क्वेश्चन का सॉल्यूशन है, दिस क्वेश्चन सॉल्यूशन इज इंटीग्रेशंस, टू हार्ड इंटीग्रेशंस. So ChatGPT gave me that, but I did not started learning what ChatGPT was giving me. Okay. I asked myself कि इतना तो 3.5 marks में इतना difficult they will not ask. So then I searched more and I find the correct solution. और ये this is a question from class 11th. It is in the class 11th. One of the coaching or basically जो problem solving books are there. उस that simple question. Maybe someone has done it in class 11th, and I'm saying that I have taught center forces 5 times and I'm not able to solve class 11th center force question. So should I be asking ki even I am capable enough to be a teacher? No, I'm capable enough to be a teacher. I don't doubt myself. The problem is, now the second thing is how to solve this problem. How to solve this problem of new theory comes. When the new theory comes and you are able to understand the theory, understand the theory. Okay? Because never our theory is also not. So let's say you study Dirac delta potential. And now something new theory is coming. Basically theory ही कुछ नया आ गया. For example, आपने bound states you have studied. In Dirac delta you have studied bound states. But the question came in about scattering states. So obviously with the knowledge of bound states, this is not going to happen. For this you need new concepts and new theory. So the best idea at that time is whatever theory is required for that question, learn it. Shift your mode of doing. Now you are not doing, you are learning. You should know that in a question, when your brain has to shift, because questions are not only done to apply what you have learned, it is also most of the time it is done to learn something which is there in the topic, but I have not done it. The syllabus will get completed only if you do the questions, because when you do the question, you realize what other things you need to do in order to complete your idea, in order to fill up the gaps. So in my mind, I am always clear कि okay, if I'm not able to solve the question, I will read the solution, and that is why I provide a very elaborate solutions. कि okay, एक अच्छा खासा लंबा solution रहना चाहिए. If you are able to understand the solution, understand means not remember the solution. अभी क्या होता है कि let's say I am giving you the concepts and इसमें मैंने 4 formula दिए. You are not able to remember these 4 formulas, but you are able to understand these 4 formulas. Okay, ठीक है. अगर रिफ्लेक्शन कोफिशिएंट है तो दिस इज अ फॉर्मूला, ट्रांसमिशन कोफिशिएंट इज दिस इज अ फॉर्मूला, एम्पलीट्यूड इज दिस इज अ फॉर्मूला. 4 फॉर्मूला है, आपको भी याद कुछ भी नहीं होगा, लेकिन आपको समझ आ गया कि इफ आई यूज दिस फॉर्मूला आई कैन सॉल्व. दिस इज अ न्यू कॉन्सेप्ट. तो immediately you shift from what you can say, from theory, from doing to from learning. It's very important that you shift. ठीक है. Now another thing, what to do if this is happening multiple times for one particular subject? Demotivate तो फिर demotivate. See, demotivate नहीं होना है. Always think कि if it is happening, it is a part of process. मतलब आप preparation, what do you think of preparation? No, no. If it is happening, let's say, and every time you have to learn something, so वो that will become difficult. अगर तो learning easily हो रहा है, let's say in one topic, in all the 6 topic, in all the 6 questions, this is happening. And then you need to work on your base. The conventional and easy things you have done, if not, do it first. अगर आपने कभी ना कभी कर लिया है उसको, then you move to that. और आप देखिए कि if you are able to understand the solutions quickly and able to learn, if not, then I would say कि प्रीतम has very nicely said, leave that topic. उसको छोड़ दीजिए, उस क्वेश्चन को छोड़, और बार बार उसके ऊपर आते रहिए. जैसे let's say there are 6 questions in this topic and you don't know all 6, and you have also done basic and conventional. आपने पढ़ रहे, आपने at least 2-3 lecture you have watched and you are done with basics and conventional knowledge, and now in all 6 questions you face the problem कि कुछ ऐसा आ रहा है कि theory ही नया आ जा रहा है. For your mind theory is new, not application of the question, but theory itself is new, and it every question is taking some time to understand. बहुत ज्यादा टाइम, मतलब एक एक 1 1 hour it is taking. So then it is best idea that you leave the topic, move to next topic, and keep coming back to this topic here and there. कि okay, किसी दिन try to do second question, किसी दिन try to do third question, किसी दिन try to do fourth question. Because when you give your time brain to relax for some time and come back to the topic, the next time your understanding is even better. Next time understanding is even. Instead of completing one topic and moving to next one is not always a good idea. ठीक है, so you can do that also. Pritam has given a good. ठीक है, हार्ड क्वेश्चंस तो यू नेवर डू. हार्ड क्वेश्चन हो रहा है कभी मत करो. मॉडरेट क्वेश्चन को सॉल्यूशंस के थ्रू लर्न करो और इजी एंड कन्वेंशनल क्वेश्चंस को सीखो बस, कि कैसे करते हैं और रिपीट होएंगे तो दोबारा करो. हार्ड क्वेश्चन नेवर डू, कभी नहीं करना. ठीक, अगर पेपर में हार्ड आते करना ही नहीं. आई डोंट अटेम्प्ट हार्ड क्वेश्चंस इन पेपर. आफ्टर द पेपर आई डू हार्ड क्वेश्चंस, मतलब कि देख लेते हैं कैसे हो सकता था, बट मोर ऑफ द टाइम, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आप दिस बार क्वेश्चन था इसका लैग्रेंजियन निकालो, I have given the solution. मतलब I can solve the question, but in a paper I would have never done it because पता नहीं आएगा, आंसर नहीं आएगा. If my exam is getting qualified by doing 40% of easy and conventional and some of application questions, some आपको कुछ करने हैं, सभी नहीं करने हैं, तो then it's okay ना, fine. क्यों मैं इतना दिमाग लगाऊं? बताओ. पेपर क्वालिफाई करना इज अ डिफरेंट टेक्निक, आइडिया. So this idea develops only if you are doing the same things in the preparation. Preparation में आप मास्टर बन रहे हैं and then in an exam you are trying to leave one question and do other, तो ये होगा नहीं. Until unless you are not doing the same things in your preparation also, कि okay, मुझे पूरे के पूरे डिराक डेल्टा पोटेंशियल में ये चीज नहीं समझ आई, तो it does not means that I don't know डिराक डेल्टा पोटेंशियल. I know this much. और बिफोर क्लोजिंग दिस टॉपिक, ठीक है, इसको एक बार रिवाइज करके आगे बढ़ जाओ. ठीक है, डिराक डेल्टा में क्या होगा, स्टार्टिंग में दे विल गिव यू द वैल्यू ऑफ एनर्जी, आइगन वैल्यू, वेव फंक्शन देंगे, एंड देन स्कैटरिंग स्टेट्स बताएंगे. अब मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स विल नॉट बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड स्कैटरिंग. अब आपका ब्रेन इज नॉट एबल टू लर्न. इसकी वजह से आपकी पढ़ाई रुक गई है. देखिए, कुछ टॉपिक्स होते हैं जिसकी वजह से पढ़ाई रुक जाती है. लेट मी टेल यू, अभी क्या हो रहा है, आपने द मोमेंट यू क्लोज द बुक इन अ ट्रबल, मान ली यू वर इन ट्रबल and you close the book and said okay खाना खा के करेंगे, the खाना खा के आप बुक खोल नहीं पाएंगे. You will not be able to open the book after dinner because you close the book while were you in trouble. And फिर okay, एक 30 minutes you watch the videos and then you अब खोलेंगे नहीं खुलता, then morning. So because of that one topic you keep on delaying the opening of the book because of that one. The best idea if something like this happens, let's say Dirac delta potential में this happens, 3 4 फॉर्मूला देखे, ये तो 3 समझ आए ना, तो पेज पे लिखा 3 फॉर्मूला समझ आए, समथिंग लाइक दिस, मूव ऑन टू नेक्स्ट समथिंग. 3 को पढ़ के खुश होकर नेक्स्ट पे चलो. जो नहीं समझ आया लाइक एग्जाम में आए तो सी, इंस्टेड ऑफ वेस्टिंग 4 hours इफ आई वुड हैव स्टडीड समथिंग एल्स, तो वहां से मेरे मार्क्स आ जाते ना. आई वुड हैव गॉट मार्क्स फ्रॉम those 4 hours study which I waste for this scattering part only. And no one is sure कि this scattering part में से question आएगा भी नहीं. Maybe question does not come. Most probably question will not come. ठीक है, so please understand these are the tricks, these are the things. The idea is very important. I think in one of very early I also told this कि never close the book in trouble. Agar you know that I need to go for dinner in 5 minutes, in 10 minutes, and you are in some line and you are stuck here. Rather than closing the book here, or rather than closing the notes here, revise first 5 things that you have already understood, and then close them. It huge impact, because then when you will start, or another important thing that you can do is next topic के first 2 lines you read, right? So let's say you want to close the book और आप फंसे पड़े क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स इन वन डायमेंशन में, यू आर स्टक, पूरा ही आप अंदर घुस चुके, देयर इज नो वे आउट. सो व्हाट यू डू इज जस्ट ओपन द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, उसके पहले ही दो लाइंस, रीड फर्स्ट टू लाइंस, टेल योर ब्रेन की quantum mechanics in one dimension is still going on, but I have also started this topic. Two lines I have studied. Close them. Next time your brain will open up this book for these two lines. कि okay, ये तो समझ आया था ना, continue. And then also your brain will ask you not to complete quantum mechanics in one dimension, rather than your brain will ask you to summarize that. कि उसको summarize करके खत्म करो. ठीक है? So these are some of the things. How you close the book actually defines कि will you open it again or will you not open, and you will just, and all of this does not happens from internal motivation. ये सब किसी के अंदर नहीं है. No one has that. The best way to motivate someone is to put everything on hard work and discipline. Everything. And that is one of the most difficult thing to achieve. I can also say, okay, the exam is in your hand. If you do hard work of 10 hours every day, then no one can stop you. Obviously, this is why you are telling me. I know that if I study every day 10 hours, I will qualify everything. That is not the problem. I know that. Knowledge was not the problem. I know. How many of the people are actually able to study 10 hours? And is studying 10 hours is the only idea? No. How you study 10 hours is the answer. कैसे पढ़े 10? You tell me how to study 10 hours. कर ही नहीं सकते. No one can study. So be realistic. Hard work and discipline is the last thing that you will have. Last. It's not the only thing that you have. It's the last thing that you will have. ठीक है? So do not try to overuse it. I will complete. I will study too hard. ये सब नहीं होगा. So these things will not happen. Do not try to abuse it. ठीक है? Discipline is very limited. Use it in a very cautious manner. Use it for one or two things in a day. That's all. Not for everything. ठीक? So let's summarize. Number one, pick a right topic. I'm picking 30 topics for you. These 30 topics, sure guarantee CSR net will qualify. After CSR net, I will give you 20, 30 more topics which are important for GATE. So do not worry about GATE. Right now, worry about net. And these 30 topics of net are very important for GATE. It's not like that these 30 topics are not in GATE. They are important for GATE. So first do them. Once our GATE is done, 20 topics more I will give exclusively for GATE. And even I will give you some books to read, because GATE is asking direct questions from books. So GATE के लिए अभी tension नहीं है. GATE, if you are preparing for GATE, then these 30 topics are for now your GATE. For JAM, I will start the topic session in next Monday, from Monday. And second idea, always cover the conventional and basic knowledge first. And one of my advice, I'm directly basically advertising my course here, and because this is one of the best thing you will find in the market, physics all in one course. Okay, physics all in one course is there till your 31 October. You also have 1,000 rupees off here. ठीक है? उसको कब से चल रहा है? इट विल देयर. दिस इज फॉर योर लाइफ टाइम. इसके अंदर आपका जैम, गेट, नेट, सीएस, एवरी एग्जाम इज कवर्ड. It does not mean that you learn this course and every question you will be able to solve. No. Every topic, easy and conventional part, will be done in most quick manner. Most quick manner. इससे स्पीड में नहीं होगा आपका. No one can do. ठीक है? And that is the open challenge. You can introduce me the lecture which can complete harmonic oscillator or even the difficult topics in less than the time I have done in complete manner. But very curious, if you're taking this course for BSc, MSc, that is not going to help, because this course does not have derivations. So I do not focus on ठीक है, derivation. ठीक है? Now, next, once you have done easy and conventional knowledge, most important is to do problem practice, and problem practice only is from PYQ, one of the exams you are preparing. Yes, the entire course is in English, only English, no Hindi word, not even a one Hindi word. Okay, so but English is simple, because I am Punjabi. I don't know very fancy English like Shashi Tharoor. I am very simple English I speak. Okay, so number one exam that you are preparing for, uske PYQ, that also first you do last 5 year PYQ, so that you understand the trend. Then you do the PYQs of any other exam of last 5 PYQs. So for example, you are preparing for CSIR, then you do the PYQs of last 5 years of GATE. And then if you have more time, then do the PYQs of CSI net before 5 years. 5 years. And most of these PYQs are already covered in the course. ऐसा नहीं है कि you are doing PYQs and it's everything is new. Most of the questions are already discussed in the course. Yes, some new questions which are coming in last 3-5 years. I am giving the solutions for them also. That is very important. So most important is basic knowledge, conventional knowledge. 40% of the paper will be full of that. Then do the PYQ very interestingly, and then you keep on moving. Make sure while you are doing this, you keep on moving to new topics in 2 days. Always make sure you do not close the book when you are in trouble. Always make sure when you are stuck in one topic for 2 days, it is better that you simultaneously do two topics. When you feel because of this topic I'm not able to open the book, it is better that you revise some easy topic or you move to some easy topic instead of keep getting stuck on this topic. So this is very important. That is important for consistency. Most important idea is that discipline is external, not internal. Practical answer. Okay, if you will go to the religious people, they will say everything is internal, spiritual. But we are talking about the Moh Maya world. In Moh Maya world, everything is outside. Everything is outside. Nothing is inside. More you go inside, more will be the problem. It's anti-religious science, not science. Basically, this preparation is anti-religious. More you go inside, more you are overthinking, more you are delaying the studies. Overthinking. Okay? So it's better that surrender yourself to outside. Every morning open up, sir. It takes 2 minutes to embarrass yourself. Embarrass yourself. If you sit down to study, put a message in a group, sir, I'm going to study and I'm going to cover 3 questions in 1 hour. After 1 hour, I will message again in this group. Now, 250 people are looking at the message. कैसा पागल है ये? क्या कर रहा है? But the moment after 1 hour you put, sir, done. I did 3 questions. Or anything like parents हो सकते हैं. I'm not saying groupie को ही आप पूरा use. Whatever you think, like you can go outside. You get external validation always helps you remain disciplined. That is why you must have seen that while you were in college, while you were in BSc, MSc, you were learning at much faster rate after your MSc is done. Once the MSc is done, the learning pace reduce because that external manifestation goes away. तो उसको आप revive करिए, ठीक है? And that even if it caused some embarrassment, don't worry. Everyone is a loser. Everyone. Yeah. Ultimately, everyone is a loser and chasing something. You are chasing something else. I am chasing something else. We both are. So we both are at the same level. Okay. So understand that. Okay. So please understand that. That is how you will have the discipline. Okay. And do not overuse or over make hard work, or you can say कि discipline, right? ये जो सी internally this hard work is the last thing that you will be able to do. Trust me. If you think you can change the entire world with hard work, you can. It's practically possible. It's possible. It's theoretically possible. If you do hard work, you will be able to change. But practically you cannot do hard. अब प्रॉब्लम ही वही क्योंकि उसमें हार्ड वर्ड है. ठीक है, द वर्ड इटसेल्फ इज हार्ड. ठीक है, सो हार्ड ही तो नहीं करना, इजी एंड मीडियम करना है. हार्ड को तो क्वेश्चन ही छोड़ देना है हार्ड वाला. सो प्लीज लीव इट. तो दिस इज अ समरी. और ट्रस्ट मी व्हाई आई एम सेइंग दिस. ठीक, till my class 11th I was never a topper. Never a topper. First time in my life what happened is I topped my class in physics. Basically in 10th class I changed my school. I went to 11th class and I even failed in physics. Initial first exam जो होता है ना, initial first exam जो mid semester में रहता है, that I failed. In 11th class I failed. And then I studied too much for physics, unknowingly, confused, because I was never a topper till 11th. And I studied so much physics that I actually topped my class. Just class. It was a class of 40 people, I topped. And my teacher said, wow. I was not even expecting that I top. I thought everyone is better than me. My exam also went better. So I have not done something very new in here. Okay? But what happened is that the teacher said Aaryan is the number one in class. And that changed my life. Because then everyone started looking at me for physics. And that is the reason I am in physics. You see, so much external. If someone say that physics was inside you, no. I went into the physics because I received the external praise. I received the external reward. That is how humans work. Once you get the external reward, then you want to sustain that reward. That is why you see in schools who tops the class tops every year, because they have that motivation to sustain that success. Okay, that is why you will see many YouTube people comes. If you want to be rich, go and eat coffee or drink coffee in a 5 star, and then you will see that you will never be able to drink coffee in a local shop. Okay. The idea is basically that once you receive external reward, your brain works for that external reward. Your brain never has an internal motivation. That is the idea. Okay. So try to build. That is how you will grow and you will thank me later on. Now, any questions you have, please go ahead. I think that's all for this my speak. Now you can ask.